Hi there. My name is Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks. And tonight on Grow, we are going to. Oh, am you supposed to say hello
Yes,
first?
hello, and
Okay,
I'm
I'm
sweet
sorry.
baby James Maynard, otherwise known as James Maynard.
And tonight, I am going to talk about the topic of if revealing our needs makes us weak, and I'll explain that. Not revealing them makes us even weaker. But before I get on to that hot topic, I would like Sweet Baby James to
Yes, indeed.
introduce our show.
Well, you have arrived at Granny Rocks Our World, where she rocks us every Monday and Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, with her wit, her wisdom, and her very uncommon sense. And yet it is so sensible. So
And
take it
so
away,
simple.
Granny.
Oh, thank you. First of all, we already have a comment. Jamie said, hello, Beth and James. Hope you're doing good tonight. Well, we are doing good because you're there. Ooh, and Ilan sent us the three smiley faces with hearts in their eyes. Yes. So she's expecting that she's going to enjoy this program and get something out of it. Well, I certainly hope so. Okay. So, first of all, I want to talk about if our revealing our needs makes us weak. Well, why would we think that revealing our needs makes us weak? Can anybody? Oh, and Ari said hi, Beth and James. Hi, Ari.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. So, if you would like us to acknowledge you, please put something in the comment section. We don't just call on people because they're here. You have to say that you say hello, and then we'll respond. Yeah, say hello, or goodbye, or I hate you, or I love you, or where were you 20 years ago when I was looking for a woman? Anyway, so do you immediately identify with the idea that revealing your needs makes you weak? And Elizabeth said, hello, Beth and James.
I identify with that.
Hello, Lizzie. You identify with that. Okay,
Yeah,
would you like to identify?
Speaking as a man,
well,
men don't have needs.
Certainly not.
If I reveal that I'm needy, then that makes me look weak.
Well, even the word needy
sounds
weak. Ooh.
Well, being a man, I'm self-sufficient. I don't have needs.
Certainly not. So that's absolutely true. So I want to talk a little bit about that before I get to why not revealing them makes us even weaker.
Oh.
Got that?
Oh.
See? Mm-hmm. You'll see. All right. First of all, Ilan says, oh, yes. Okay. And I already said hello to Elizabeth.
Okay.
So, first of all, I want to give a context about needs. In order to be healthy, whether it's on a spiritual plane or an emotional plane or a physical plane, we have to get our needs met. I mean, isn't that obvious? A plant. Oh, Elizabeth said, I'll have to listen later because our internet is skipping so much. You talk to those people. You make them fix it. We want you on Grow. We want your comments. So we can't let them get in the way of us.
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, just take something as simple as a plant. So say a plant needs a certain amount of sun for its species, whether it's a lot or a little, whatever it is. It needs the sun, it needs water, it needs fertile soil, it needs nutrition, right? If that plant does not get those needs met, guess what? It's gonna be weak. It's the same thing on an emotional level. If you need love to thrive, you need love to thrive, guys, in order to be healthy. If you need not to be beaten by your parents or by your mate or by bullies in the neighborhood, that's what you need. Because having those, some people will say yes, but it makes you stronger if you have all these obstacles and challenges. Yeah.
Yeah, they say if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Well, sometimes that's true, but a lot of times it isn't. For example, let's say you have weak bones like I do. I have osteoporosis real bad. So if somebody just goes like this, they could break a bone of mine. So do I really need somebody to do that to me?
Good thing I got strong bones.
See what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? So this is a lot of hogwash in our heads. We have spiritual needs, we have emotional needs, and we have physical needs. And when we have all of them met, we have needs for challenges. That's part of our spiritual and emotional needs. We need challenges. Doesn't mean that you should stay in bed all day, every day, never go to school or face any challenges. But if when you get to school you get beaten by the nuns, uh, you know, then you don't need that. That is not the kind of challenge you need. You need challenge to your intellect. You need people to help you to learn how to socialize, how to think critically and so on. So when our needs, when the needs that we have are not met, they're not available, then we get weaker. See, I've already gotten to the second part, and I meant to start with the first part, but the first part and the second part are so related. Well,
they're connected.
But they are connected. So what happens is that so many of us are afraid to reveal those needs, and there are reasons for that. One is because we may have lost touch with what they are. Let's say we've grown up in an environment where these needs are never met, and we don't even know we have them anymore. And I'll get to why that is. Because possibly, here's a couple of options. We have been misdirected. We have been convinced we need something we don't need instead of the thing that we do need. So, for example, we may have been convinced that what we really need is admiration. We really need the gold star. We really need to be recognized. We really need to be a bully. We really need da-da-da-da-da-da. We actually have gotten ourselves convinced of that, and we really don't know that what we really need is to be held, to be cuddled, you know what I mean? To be nurtured, to be watered, to be fertilized, all that stuff. See, we've lost touch with our needs when we are so year after year, those needs aren't met, and we just push them down until it's like, bloop, gone. I just discovered I'm wearing a nightgown. You would never have guessed that if I hadn't mentioned it. Anyway, let's say
you have on what you need.
That's exactly right. Now, people think that they need to be dressed up to get on the air, but you don't. You just need to have your head working. And in my case, since I'm of a Jewish heritage, my hands need to be free. Okay, we may have,
Is there a talking hands, Gene?
We may be afraid to reveal them because we've talked about we've lost touch with our needs. We may have been misdirected and convinced we need something we don't. So I was just talking about, our society or our parents or our friends may tell us that what we need is honor, honor, whatever honor is. Honor, you know what honor is? Honor is you mindlessly follow the stupid directives of the people who are sending you into war for bad reasons to hurt other people who've been sent in for the same reason. That is one example of honor, right? Honor is, you kill your sister because she is engaged to somebody from a different religion. That's honor, right? Oh, that's all nonsense. You see, that's all ego. Oh, and we've been talking about the ego, so don't tell me you don't know what the ego is. It's, how we look rather than what's real. It's like how it looks rather than what it really is. Yeah. So we may be, convinced that we need something that we don't, like we need to go to war when we really need to find out why everybody else is going to war and try to fix social problems. Anyway, moving on. We may be afraid to reveal them because we don't know what they are, because we have been shamed for having them. And that's what Sweet Baby James was talking about. It's like, oh, you're a boy. You're not supposed to need to be held when you've been hurt. You're supposed to get up and go back on the football field.
Or to release your upset emotions by crying. Then you're called a sissy.
Exactly. Elon says so true. You know, it's so fascinating when you look. There was some guy who just retired from football because he's in agony, pain. He's always getting hurt. And he says, I don't want to do this thing anymore. And there are fans who are actually attacking this guy. He knows what he needs. In fact, he probably needed it years ago. But see, they want him to be tough. So it's not always parents or always ourselves. It's sometimes the whole society. It's just like I was saying about honor and war and bloodshed and all that stuff, right? So, no, when people have been shamed, as they are shaming this guy, shamed for having needs, then we're going to lose touch with what they are. Or we've been forbidden to get them satisfied. Forbidden. For example, in certain places, women cannot travel freely. Or people cannot express their sexuality as they choose. We have a dog, Lily.
Lily, stop.
She has a need to hump Mojo, but he does not have the need to be humped. Anyway, so many places we've been forbidden to get our needs satisfied, and we don't even know that. We don't know that. I really need to be eating this, but see, it's not allowed. You can't eat that. You know, you have to let the blood out of the food before you ever eat the meat, right? So there's all kinds of belief systems that may or may not actually correlate with our real needs. Now, let's say we have historically we have not gotten our needs met. So what we do is we unconsciously seek alternatives, and that becomes habitual. For example, let's say we don't have good food, you know, a good clean protein source, healthy vegetables without pesticides and so on. And we haven't had that. So guess what? We go eat sugar instead. Oh, I need energy. I must need sugar. Because we don't have the experience of what we really need that has really nurtured us. And we get into habits of going after the wrong things.
Including junk food.
Totally junk food. That's right. Oh, I'm really hungry. I'm hungry. I'm on the run. I've got to get back to work in 2 minutes. Let me stop at, McBurgers. I'm not going to attack anybody in particular, right? And I'm going to eat their fried, and they're right. And I'm satisfying my need, but I'm not satisfying my need. Of course, afterwards I have to have a sugar shake because I know that my body is already telling me that I haven't satisfied its need. But we are constantly seeking alternatives. Now, supposing on an emotional level that's happened to you. You needed love, you needed hugs, you needed understanding, you needed somebody to give you real guidance, you needed someone to see who you were, but you didn't get it. So what do? You say, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. You go for thrills, negative attention, all that kind of stuff. So on so many levels, you see, what we do is when we have historically not gotten our needs met, we have historically looked for ways of meeting those needs that don't meet them. Another example of that is so many of us, when we really need connection, we go for sex. I'm not saying anything negative about sex, but sex is not the only way to get connection. It may not even be the right way to get connection. If someone is looking for a connection and sees a child who is defenseless and they go after that child, I mean, they need someone to help them to sort out what they really need is self-love and connection. But they're going after something that they have been, for some reason or other, been conditioned to do.
Or even superficial one-night stands, which don't involve really deeply connecting with another person.
That is so true. That is so true. And another reason that we're afraid to reveal our needs is we fear the potential of loss of power, because exposing them might make us look weak. And I'm going to tell you why. And Assis said, salut, bonjour. Bonjour, Assis. Very happy to see you. Now, we fear the potential loss of power because if we reveal our needs to people who could meet them or we think could meet them, they have power over us. You want this? You want this? You know, it's like when you see a dog. I don't know what kava means, Asi, or maybe it's sava. Maybe it's supposed to be sava. It's the way it is, or something like this. And Jamie says, yes, so insightful, Beth. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie.
So, you know how it is when the dog wants the treat and it keeps going, and you know, you're trying to make it jump higher and higher and higher, right? That's what has happened to many of us. We've had to jump. We've had to jump through hoops to get certain needs satisfied. Love, comfort, bon courage, as he says. Thank you. Thank you. So now the person has what we need and they know it and they're going to dangle it. It's like, how many times have we heard the joke that the woman says, oh yeah, well, if you don't do this, you ain't getting none tonight, right? It's not like the woman also has the need to have that love and connection and maybe sexual experience, but no, she is going to use it to manipulate him, or vice versa. The man could do it to another man or to the woman. So you see what happens is we're afraid. First, we're confused, we're misdirected, we have been doing the wrong things. What we need isn't available. Let's say we actually need, you know, calcium, but there is no calcium in our society. Well, you know what happens? You get rickets. Anyway, so we fear the potential loss of power because people can withhold. And that could be a mate, a parent, a friend, an institution. Like, oh, you won a scholarship to Harvard? Well, you'd better do this or this or this or this, right? So suddenly your need for that scholarship has made you weak in relationship to whoever it is. And let's say someone is able to satisfy our needs. That's even worse, right? Because now that's a real power that they have over us, not just a potential power, a real power. You could be needing companionship, sex, intimacy, touch, money for school, as I said, admiration, people to listen to your music, someone to give you real guidance on something. You may just need a damn lift to the station, a ride to school, a book. I mean, everything that we need that someone else has. Healthcare. Oh my God. How many of us have a real need for healthcare and we can't afford it, or we have to go through all these hoops in order to get it? So I'm going to have to stop because I'm out of time. So I didn't get to how does not revealing our needs make us even weaker, but I've already given you some clues, you know, for our health, mentally, spiritually, physically, socially. We need to have those needs met. So if we never reveal them to ourselves or anyone else, then we will never get those needs met. So I'm going to continue with this next time on part 2. And meanwhile, I want to tell you that we have been talking about the ego and how it is a set of coping mechanisms, and not revealing our needs is one of those coping mechanisms, which is the ego. And we're going to be dismantling those old egoic coping mechanisms. And one place we're going to be doing it is at a retreat that Sweet Baby James and I are having in Oregon, November 9th and 10th.
So Saturday and a Sunday.
It's a Saturday, Sunday, and we are going to have lots of laughter. You're going to be working with me directly in person. You have to come to Oregon. I'm sorry. Everything I do on the internet, but not this. Oh, Debbie said, hi, Beth and James headed to work. We'll watch tomorrow. Oh, excellent. Excellent. So glad. So this retreat is going to be happening on November 9th and 10th, and we're going to have music and insight and laughter, and we're going to be making that transformation to liberate ourselves. And I am putting a link into the post tonight. The very post, the very link. So give me just a couple of minutes to get that post ready and to stick that link in. And so you could come if you want and work with me in person in November. But in any case, we would love to see you on Wednesday for part 2 of revealing our needs or not revealing them. And it's at 6:30 Pacific time. And Thursday nights, as always, we have Dreams of Peace, live improvisational piano, and sometimes Born to Play, which is the two of us. Yep. So you just never know.
Vocals, yeah.
So thank you so much for listening. Please share this show. Please share it. Comment, like, share.
And by the way, thank you, Aussie, for the love that you've been sending.
Yes.
And the appreciations. We really appreciate that.
We do. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye for now.
Until Wednesday.